Welcome to today's meditation, where we are going to explore the left brain and the right brain. So the left brain holds all of our logical thinking, black and white, sequences, lists, organization. That is our left brain. And then our right brain holds all of our emotions. It tends to be more colorful. It has a lot of feelings and expression, and sometimes can be a little more chaotic. So it's really important that we learn how to use both sides of our brain together so we can live in a more balanced state. As you can imagine, when we are too logical, we usually think my way or the highway, and we have no compassion for the situation at hand. On the transition to that, if we are thinking too emotionally, we can't see that there is some logic that can be brought into a situation so it's not as chaotic, and that whatever the situation is, we can figure out a solution. So today I'm going to take you on a little boat ride so you can explore your left brain and your right brain and a situation that's going on in your life. So then you can identify how you could bring in more logic or emotion to that situation. So go ahead and get comfortable. You can lie down on your back. You can come into a seated position like myself. And then when you're ready, go ahead and close down your eyelids. Just take a nice gentle inhale through the nose. And you can open the mouth and just sigh it out. Allowing yourself to arrive here in the present moment. So I want you to imagine you're on a little boat. And you're just going down the middle of a river. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's that perfect temperature where the sun touches your skin. It's not too hot. The breeze is tickling your face. And your heart feels so happy, nice and content as you're moving down the middle of the river. You're feeling balanced and equal, really enjoying the beauty of nature, the colors of the trees, the animals scurrying around, the noise of the water, the birds singing, and the smell of the air. And as you're riding on your boat, gently going down the river, you start to take in the scenery to the left and the scenery to the right. And you recognize they're very different. And so you choose to focus on the scenery to the left first. You check out that left bank. You recognize it resembles the left brain. Everything is organized and in place. There's no color to the left bank. Everything is black and white. Maybe some shades of gray, shades of white. All the trees are lined up perfectly. The wood for the fire is stacked neatly. The animals are moving in a logical pattern. Nothing is out of place. It might even seem a little cold. And then you take your gaze over to the right bank, and all of a sudden everything gets really loud. There's so much color that you're not even sure where to look first. There's lots of noise. There's animals laughing, there's animals crying. There are people moving in all different directions. There's no pattern, no organization, just lots of noises, yelling, screaming, joyful noises of celebration, but no rhyme or reason. Everything just seems more intuitive, nonverbal. And then bring yourself back to the center of the boat, back into this peaceful place that seems balanced. And I want you to recognize a situation in your own life that's been bothering you lately. And when you think about this situation, notice how you've been feeling or thinking about it. Have you been thinking more logically, like my way or the highway? This is the way we do it? Or have you been thinking more emotionally? I don't know why we can't do things the way I want. We never do what I want to do. Sometimes when we're too emotional, we become a victim. And notice in your situation if it's extremely logical or extremely emotional. Or maybe you're finding you have some feelings about your situation, but you would really like to pull in some logic to bring the situation back into balance. So if you are feeling emotional about your situation, what kind of logic could you bring into the situation to bring it back to center, back into peaceful existence within for you? On the other hand, if you're feeling very logical about the situation, this is how it's done, this is how it's always been done, this is what they should do, this is what I'm going to do. Notice what it would be like if you brought in some compassion or empathy regarding the situation. Maybe taking into consideration other people's thoughts and feelings and how the situation is affecting them. How could you bring emotion into this situation to bring you and your boat back to center, back to the middle of the river? So just recognize which direction your boat is being pulled more strongly towards, the left bank, the logical side, or the right bank, the emotional side. And then begin to create some attachments to new thought processes to bring your boat back to the center. And once you bring your boat back to the center, back into this peaceful existence, notice how you feel. How does it feel to bring in another way of thinking to your situation? What does it feel like to integrate your logical thinking and your emotional thinking? And then feel into that gratitude that you have logical and emotional thinking. They're both so important and very expressive. And they're jewels for you to be able to work with to bring you into this peaceful place. Thank you, mind, that I have the power to bring this together. And now that you're seeing your situation in a different light, I want you to once again notice the trickling of the water in the river. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Notice the temperature of the air. Hear the birds talking to each other. Hear the rustle of the leaves. And just thank this experience for this time you've had to enjoy this beautiful river ride. And when you're ready, you can gently wiggle your toes and your fingers. You can open up your eyes and just take a moment to notice what came up for you. What kind of situation came to mind? And what were you able to identify to improve the situation? And note to yourself, by taking the time to quiet the mind, it allowed you space between your thoughts to come up with a new solution. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.